5 army personnel were killed after terrorists attacked an army convoy in Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua. Now, 5 other soldiers were also injured in the attack and they are now getting medical treatment. According to sources, the terrorists fired at the army vehicle from the top of a hill. They also hurled grenades at the army vehicle. Security forces retaliated and this led to a fierce gun battle in the area. The attack on the army convoy is coming a day after security forces eliminated 6 terrorists in twin encounters in Kulgam. And this is the 6th encounter in the last 1 month. Jammu and Kashmir's Dora district was rocked by twin terror attacks on the 11th and 12th of June. On the 11th, 6 security personnel were injured and terrorists also attacked them. This attack happened at a checkpost in the Chatargatla area, while a police personnel was also injured in the gunfight with terrorists in Kota. This happened at the Kota top. And on the 12th of June, following the attack, security forces intensified their anti-terrorist operations and also announced a cash reward of 6 lakh rupees each for 4 Pakistani terrorists believed to have infiltrated and operated in the district. We are also getting some breaking news that's now coming in. NC patron Farooq Abdullah has taken a stand against Pakistan, and many would say that this possibly is a first. And he's also gone ahead and demanded international pressure against Pakistan for their antecedents. He also goes on to say that will other so-called Pakistan backers now follow. Now, this is the latest that's coming in with Farooq Abdullah taking a stand against Pakistan. Let's listen in.
मुझे समझ नहीं आती उनकी सोच क्या है और सोच इस बात का है This is not way forward. This is way backward. And if they want movement forward, then they have to stop this thing and stop it now before it's too late. I think the pressures of the world have to increase. The only way forward now is the pressure of the world on that country must increase, that this is not path to peace. This is path to destruction. Stop it now.
Senior editor Pranesh Kumar Roy joining us from the newsroom, and also Pradeep Datta, who's tracking the movement of security forces and the action that has been taken against terrorists. Going across first up to Pranesh, too little too late. Or is this just Farooq Abdullah seeing the writing on the wall and finally taking a stand against Pakistan?
Well, we don't know, Saga, but it is a refreshing start to begin with. I mean, just imagine, think about the words uttered by Farooq Abdullah. For once, he's at least, without naming Pakistan, saying that the pressure of the world has to increase on the country because this is certainly not the path to peace. Why is this important commentary by Farooq Abdullah? Because for a long time, this man has held power in Jammu and Kashmir. He has been accused of presiding over the genocide of Hindus, and he's also been accused of extending patronage to an ecosystem that encourages terrorism and bloodshed. Now, in perhaps a departure, and a welcome departure at that, by his own standards, Farooq Abdullah is beginning to open up against Pakistan. This man, remember, has never said that Pakistani terrorists come and spill blood in India. He's always blamed the center. Maybe the winds of change, like Pradeep Datta uses the phrase, winds of change responsible for this kind of commentary from Farooq Abdullah. But I would not be surprised if people take his comments with a pinch of salt. Because remember, there is a history to what Farooq Abdullah has done and not done. I don't want to get into what he has done to betray justice as far as Kashmiri Hindus are concerned, but I just want to highlight for our viewers that Farooq Abdullah has at least turned a new chapter. Will the other Pak Premis Saga, and there are too many, and we don't know the names, we don't have to take names. There are many in the league who now have to begin to see writing on the wall. You have Lalit Ambardar also joining you. Let's put it across to him, how he sees this.
Yes, Mr. Ambardar, Farooq Abdullah finally has now called for international pressure to build on Pakistan. How are you looking at this comment?
See, you have to look at the circumstances. First of all, Farooq Abdullah is an Islamist. Abdullah is the original Islamist of Kashmir. Till date, not once these Kashmiri Islamists, mainstream Islamists, have opposed Pakistan or spoken against him. In fact, his last Lok Sabha Parliament in Lok Sabha, National Council member from Baramulla, when he was an MLA in Legislative Assembly, he raised Pakistan Zindabad slogan in the live Legislative Assembly. When journalists asked him outside, why did you do it? He said, I'm a Muslim, I became emotional. And what does Farooq Abdullah do? He rewarded him with a ticket to Lok Sabha. This is what Farooq Abdullah is. So don't go by his statement. He speaks one language in Srinagar, another in Jammu, another in Delhi to appease the gullible left liberals in the rest of India. So what happened in Kathua is an act of war. We need to understand that. And the protagonists are not only jihadis coming from Pakistan. Protagonists are local Kashmiri jihadis. And protagonists are those Kashmiris who host it. And from now, you know, there's going to be a reaction.
So, Mr. Amardar, at this point of time, this statement by Farooq Abdullah is not cutting any eyes because, like Mr. Amardar is saying, what happened in Kathua was an act of war. We also have SP Ved, former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir. We've lost our brave hearts and we've been seeing an increase in terror activity. The politics of it continues, and Farooq Abdullah of the National Conference now is speaking up against Pakistan. In May, he had said that Pakistan is not wearing bangles and also has atom bombs. But today, when a statement like this comes across, how do you look at it, Mr. Ved?
Yes, what you said, these statements have been made in the past. But I think let's take at least whatever he has said this time is very sensible, that Pakistan should be taught lesson. And I think it is high time. It is definitely an act of war, and it is high time that India pursues this policy of hard pursuit. And also we may have to repeat what happened post Uri and post Pulwama. What is being done by the deep state of Pakistan in Jammu region, disturbing Jammu region, and you are seeing these acts of terrorism in Rajouri, Poonch, and Udhampur, and now Kathua. I think we need to go after these terrorists and eliminate them as soon as possible, and also teach Pakistan, who are actually sending these terrorists across the IB and the LOC, and we make it very costly for Pakistan.
Mr. Ved, I apologize to interject because my colleague Pranesh is also joining us, and even he has a question for you. Pranesh, it's over to you.
Right. Mr. Ved, thank you for holding on, sir. And before I ask you that question, Najmu Saqib of the PDP is also joining us. But Mr. Ved, all I wanted to ask you, are we reading too much into what Farooq has said? Is this really a change of heart, or there is something more here?
The politicians keep changing their statements, that we have seen. Statements are different in Srinagar, Jammu, Delhi. That's not today's story. It has happened. They actually also make statements with the intention of catching their boats also. But I think as long as the statement is positive for the country, we should appreciate that. There is no harm in that. But we must go after these terrorists and see that Jammu region is made free from terrorism and make it costly for Pakistan. That's what I would like to say.
Thank you for speaking to us. Saga, you also have Najmu Saqib of the PDP.
Najmu Saqib, thank you for joining us this morning. Farooq Abdullah says that it's time for the international community to speak up against Pakistan. Does the PDP also take a similar stand today?
Look, what we've been seeing, especially in Pir Panjal region and bordering Jammu regions, is a complete destabilization of the situation. It is very alarming that you have attacks taking place such frequency. So we have our hearts and thoughts are with the families, those who were affected in these attacks. We had an attack on yatra some time back, and then after that we had continuous encounters taking place. So our thoughts are with the families. But our main political point is that as long as engagement, look, we have a lot of forums available. We have forum in terms of SCU available with us. We have forum in terms of SARC available with us.
Very humbly, I would like to interject, Mr. Saqib. Very humbly, I would like to interject. We are seeing what's happening over the last 1 month. And there is an increase in this kind of activity. These dastardly acts are coming in and the perpetrators are from Pakistan. Farooq Abdullah today has said it's time to speak up against Pakistan and there should be international pressure because this is not the way forward. I'm asking you a simple question. Is your stand against Pakistan similar to that of Mr. Abdullah?
Look, we have been speaking against Pakistan for the last 70 years, but nothing has changed. Like, we had a surgical strike in Pakistan, nothing has changed. So we saw the people of Jammu and Kashmir have seen peace only during the years of Vajpayee, when there was continuous engagement.
No, so what are you advocating? Mr. Saqib, what are you advocating? At a time when there is so much anger against Pakistan because of what they are doing repeatedly, and here we are talking about our brave hearts, repeatedly these attacks on the Indian Army in Jammu. There is an attempt to bring in, an environment of terror in Jammu at this point of time. You will still not condemn Pakistan for it?
We do condemn Pakistan, but my point is that people of Jammu and Kashmir are the worst sufferers. Like, I can sing the songs like a canary all day and night against Pakistan, but that will not ameliorate the situation of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. But the fact is that people of Jammu and Kashmir are suffering. Like, we are having dead bodies, our sons are getting killed, our mothers, our sisters, they're getting widowed. That is the reality of it. So
Mr.
that
Saqib,
is why we cannot
Saqib,
have...
thank you so much for joining us, but the sentiment on the ground is something that our colleague Pradeep Datta will bring in, and thank you for joining us. We will listen into what Farooq Abdullah said, and then I'll go across to Pradeep Datta, who's joined us live, and he'll also get us a live update. But let's once again listen into what Farooq Abdullah said.
मुझे समझ नहीं आती उनकी सोच क्या है, अफसोस इस बात का है. This is not way forward. This is way backward. And if they want movement forward, then they have to stop this thing and stop it now before it's too late. I think the pressures of the world have to increase. The only way forward now is the pressure of the world on that country must increase, that this is not path to peace. This is path to destruction. Stop it now.
Pradeep Datta is joining us live. Pradeep, thank you for standing by to get us that latest update. You've been listening to all the reactions that have now come in. First up, I would like to ask you, what's the situation on the ground? What's the latest when it comes to, what the army is doing at this point of time?
See, if you ask me about the situation on the ground, right now the counter-terror operation is continuing. Cordon and search operation is gone, and our forces are trying to eliminate the terrorists who are responsible for this act. Message has been sent to the commanders on the ground that neither you need to forgive nor you forget what really happened yesterday when 2 of the vehicles were ambushed by Pakistani terrorists, in which 5 of our bravehearts lost their lives and 5 others were critically injured. But unfortunately, even today, there are some of the political parties who are not ready to hit out at Pakistan. Instead, they are trying to blame what government is doing, and they are trying to politicize whole issue. But I think this is a welcome change, that what Farooq Abdullah really said. But yes, you rightly said in the initial remark that he has read the writing on the wall. Why I'm saying that he has read the writing on the wall, a reason being that he saw that how Omar Abdullah, who is the party vice president, he lost elections in Baramulla. He saw that separatism, neither the dialogue with Pakistan, because the line which they had been off and on parroting, that is not really going to garner them votes. So what really is required, that they need to work for the people. And if they have to work for the people, they have to call spade a spade. They need to call perpetrator a perpetrator. And here in this case of Jammu and Kashmir, the perpetrator is Pakistan, who had been spilling blood of innocent Kashmiris for the last 7 decades. And that's one of the reasons that Farooq Abdullah says this is not a way forward. Though he keeps on changing his statement, maybe tomorrow he's going to give some other statement.
We'll come back to you to get more updates on the counter-terror operations that are currently underway, because nobody understands the ground situation in Jammu and Kashmir the way Pradeep Datta does. We'll come back to that story once again. Time now for us to slip into a short commercial break. Taking a short break here on Times Now.